In this video, I'm comparing the Google Pixel 4a 5G and the Motorola One 5G Ace. Pixel 4a 5G is the cheapest 5G phone from Google, and the One 5G Ace is the cheapest 5G phone from Motorola. If you like content where you compare smartphones and specs, low, mid to flagship level phones, consider subscribing. Really helps out the channel. But let's get into it. The Pixel 4a 5G comes in with a full price tag of $500, while the One 5G Ace comes in at $400 unlocked, but you can get it for $30 on prepaid. So it makes it a really value-driven device on prepaid. Unfortunately, the Pixel 4a 5G has never been on prepaid with a discount, so that's been one big negative on Pixel phones. I don't know why they have never been offered on prepaid with a discount. The Pixel 4a 5G weighs in at about 5.93 ounces versus the more heavyweight One 5G Ace at 7.5 ounces. Both have the similar build quality. They got the glass front with the plastic back and plastic frame, but that's understandable at these price points, sub $500. The Pixel 4a 5G has a nano SIM physical one and also an embedded eSIM for virtual activation. The One 5G Ace only has a nano SIM card slot, and it also has a water repellent coating. Neither of these phones have IP67 or IP rated dust and water resistance. As for the display, the 4a 5G has a 6.2-inch OLED display. The One 5G Ace has a 6.7-inch IPS LCD display, so very bigger screen than the One 5G Ace. They both offer similar screen to body ratio at around 84 to 85% screen to body ratio. Resolution is very similar as well. They're both 1080p full HD displays. 4a 5G is 413 ppi density versus 393 ppi on the One 5G Ace. Basically, both of these are very good displays, and the 4a 5G has an extra always-on display as well. 4a 5G has Android 11, while the One 5G Ace has Android 10, but both of these offer similar feeling stock versions of Android, but they offer their own gestures, such as the Motorola has the chop motion for the flashlight and the twist motion for the camera. But the 4a 5G will get several updates in the future as soon as Google releases them, while the One 5G Ace, don't expect any meaningful updates. As for the chipset, the 4a 5G has a Snapdragon 765G 5G processor. One 5G Ace has a 750G processor. Both of these are mid-range processors, which will handle pretty much everything that most people download and use, such as YouTube and WhatsApp, messaging, like gaming, like Dead Trigger and Grand Theft Auto. Those are my personal favorites. And just pretty much everyday apps. Most people will have no trouble running these apps on these phones without any performance issues. As for storage, the 4a 5G has 128 gigs, while the One 5G Ace, most models will also come in at 128 gigs of storage, but the One 5G Ace also has that micro SD card slot. As for RAM, they both have 6 gigs of RAM, so pretty good amount of RAM. You shouldn't have any problems running several apps in the background. For the cameras, the 4a 5G has 2 cameras, 12 megapixel main shooter, 60 megapixel ultra wide. The One 5G Ace has 3 cameras, 48 megapixel main, 8 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and both shoot in 4K. Now, although both of these phones take pretty good pictures, very good pictures and video in the daylight when there's a lot of light around, the 4a 5G wins for sure in the better quality, especially at night. The One 5G Ace camera will definitely suck taking videos and pictures at night. So the advantage is the Pixel 4a 5G. It's one of the better cameras, the Pixel cameras in the overall Android smartphone world. As for the selfie cameras, you have an 8 megapixel shooter on the Pixel, 60 megapixel on the Motorola, and both shoot at 1080p. They're pretty much the same almost in quality on the selfie side. Luckily, both of these phones have headphone jacks, so you can physically connect your mic, your headphones, and connect it to your car via aux cord to listen to music. The Pixel 4a 5G is Bluetooth 5.0, while the One 5G Ace is 5.1, but both of these versions of Bluetooth will happily connect to your wireless devices, your wearables, your smartphone, your smartwatches, your smart bands, your wireless headphones, your wireless speakers and whatnot. And both support NFC, and that's mostly used for payment services. You got USB Type-C port for charging on both, and they both have rear mounted fingerprint readers. Last but not least is the battery, and it's a big difference. The 4A5G has a very, very small, approximately 3900 milliamp battery, while the 15G Ace has a beefy 5000 milliamp battery, which is 1 to 2 to 3 days of use. You'll be lucky if you get 1 day of use out of the 4A5G. So a big advantage on the battery department for the Ace. And both offer fast charging. You got 18 watts on the 4A5G, 15 watts on the Motorola. Well, what are my thoughts and opinions after comparing the specs of both of these devices? Well, the more value-driven device is the 15G Ace. It's a very capable, it's a very capable phone that offers a lot of value if you want to. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on a 5G device, especially if you get it on prepaid for $30 on Metro by T-Mobile. The Pixel 4a 5G at $500 is kind of a tough sell because you're not going to find any real discounts. You're going to probably pay that $500 unless you get the phone used. And the main advantages that the 4a 5G has over the Motorola, for example, is very few. It's going to get the newest version of Android right away in the update department, and the camera is just going to be way better than the 15G Ace. Other than that, there's not anything else that is a big plus on the 4a 5G. It has the same build quality as the 15G Ace. It has that stock feel just like the 15G Ace, so the operating system is going to feel almost the same. You don't have that SD card support, and this is for $500. You could do way better for that amount. The 5G Ace, you can get it for $30. It has a bigger screen, a beefy battery. The processor is almost the same and on par as the Pixel 4a 5G. You got a lot to like. That big old battery is just like the big selling point for the 15G Ace. It has that extra macro camera, which I guess some people, if you like really up close shots, that might make a difference. The screen is almost the same. There's not much there's not too much value in the Pixel 4a 5G unless you really like Pixel phones and stock Android, and you like smaller screen phones. But other than that, big win for the 15G Ace. I highly recommend it over the 4a 5G. Well, thanks guys for checking out this video. If you like content about comparing smartphones and specs, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.